garden friends. It's bright and early here in the garden, and it's the beginning of week 10 of This Week in the Garden series. This morning I'm up early, very early, to get out and get some stuff done before the heat rises. It's going to be in the 90s this week, and let me tell you, this thick-blooded New Englander just can't handle the heat. So I get up early during these times and try to get some work done before the heat drives me inside for the rest of the day, at least until evening. So today I've got a couple of tasks. I'm going to be planting. I've got 2 trays of material here. One tray of Salanova lettuce mix, and the mosquitoes are out early this morning. Anyway, one tray of Salanova mix, lettuce mix, and then another tray that has head lettuce and a whole bunch of brassicas that I'm replanting because the first set of bunch of the first set of brassicas failed, like cabbages and a few other things. But anyway, so I'm gonna get these in the ground and then water them in well, and then water them several times today because it's gonna get up into the 90s. Probably water them every day for the next couple of days just to make sure they get through this heat. It's gonna be pretty brutal, mid-upper 90s. And so that's rough on little seedlings, but these guys are ready to come out of their trays. This is a 128 plug tray, so these cells are pretty tiny, and they're outgrowing them quickly. So let's get going before the heat gets going too. Okay, I've got the tray of Salanova planted, all 128 or so. And next I'm going to plant this half of a tray of head lettuces, like green leaf and romaine and red leaf lettuce. Just going to plunk them in right after the Salanova and get them watered in and settled in. The next round of lettuces are in and watered. Hopefully I can keep them from getting singed in the next week as we hit the 90s and above, mid-upper 90s. I'll be out here watering these a couple times a day until the heat wave goes by and they settle in and start growing. Alright, so on to the next task. Okay, the next task is in the brassica section. If you remember, I lost a bunch of cabbages and some of the broccolis, a few of the cauliflower, just either through lack of water or insects or, life. And so I resowed a bunch of those in flats and plug trays. And so now they're ready to go out. So I'm just going to go in and fill in all the holes that were left by dead plants. And hopefully these will do a little bit better than the first round. So I filled in these cauliflowers, and then further down here are some more cabbages. Lots more cabbages. Different varieties. And then over here, a few more different types of broccoli, I think a couple of cabbage, and then, of course, more kale, because one can never have too much kale. So like with the lettuce, I'm going to spend the day watering these by hand until they get settled in. Definitely for the next couple of days. Try to make sure they get through this heat wave. Kind of a bad time to be planting, but they had to get out of the greenhouse, so we'll nurse them along for a little bit, and hopefully they will take this time. Well, good morning again. It's now Saturday. The entire week has gone by, and yeah, I've been hiding inside. Oh my goodness, it has been so hot the last few days. Mid-90s, humid, dripping humid. And my husband and I have basically been hiding inside during the day. Coming out in the morning, early morning, to do chicken chores, and then, yeah, retreating. So I haven't really been in the garden since I last videoed and put the lettuce and the brassicas in the ground. Did a little bit of watering, but mercifully, a couple of the days where we had really high temperatures, we also had some really bad thunderstorms come through and dump a bunch of rain. So I haven't had to come out and do much watering. So yeah, that's been good. This morning it's a little bit cooler. It's going to be marginally cooler today, upper 80s. Still very humid. So not going to spend the whole day outside, and the flies are still here. I think we've moved on from black fly season. I think it's some other type of little no-see-em fly, but they're just as annoying. Anyway, so it's going to be hot today, so I wanted to get out and do a few things, take a look at a few things, show you a few things that have happened in just like the 4 days since I last filmed. It's amazing how fast weeds will grow in hot, humid weather. I mean, stunning. Rows, aisles that were clear of weeds now have weeds that are like this big. It's amazing. So going to do a little bit of weeding today, a little bit of harvesting, which will be kind of fun, and just a general poke around to wrap up the week. And hopefully next week will be a little bit cooler and I can actually get some other garden work done. That'd be nice. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on. So we're going to start here in the potato row. Yesterday morning I came out and took a look at the potatoes and right away spotted a problem. I don't know if you can see that. That's a Colorado potato beetle larva. Hopefully my camera will focus on it. Anyway, so we have potato beetles. There's another one right there. Not too bad. I picked a whole bunch off yesterday. I actually came out with a little cup of soapy water and picked them off. And there's still a few that came back today that I probably missed. So I'm just going to go through and pick these off. And there's another one. Not sure if the camera will focus on that or not. Anyway, another one under the leaf there. I'm going to pick these off and yeah, try to keep this infestation under control. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be too bad beyond like these first few potato plants. I don't see any back here. Oh wait, there's a couple there. It's not too bad, so I'm going to get in here and pluck these off. I noticed actually these are the Yukon Gold plants, which are looking great, starting to flop over. And I don't see any potato beetles on them, which is odd. I wonder what the difference is. Anyway, so let me get to work picking these potato beetles off before they do any more damage. Alright, I finished picking off, I think, all the potato beetles. You can see there's a bit of damage here, but that's alright, the potatoes will be okay. Just a few minutes of hand picking can pretty much get this infestation under control. Oh, I see I missed one or two. I'll have to go back and get those. Yeah, so I'll come out tomorrow morning and do the same thing. And, you know, I don't really want to have to spray, so I'm going to try the hand picking route and hope that keeps it under control. Alright, now on to summer squash and zucchini. We're actually starting to get quite a few fruits. Actually, I'll pick that one today because tomorrow it'll be the size of a log. And the other thing I'm going to be doing in this row is just randomly turning over leaves to look for that. I don't know if my camera's going to focus in on it, but those are eggs of squash bugs. And so we just squish them, peel them right off, and squish them. The more I squish, the fewer squash bugs we'll have in the garden. So, yep, here we go. They're already starting to lay their eggs. And I don't know if... Come on, camera. I don't know why the camera's not focusing on that, but little tiny beads. I just peel those off and squish them. I grind them up in my fingers. There. Yeah, so a daily or every other day check of leaves can greatly reduce the squash bug population. Let's see what else. Oh, look at, got some summer squash. Cut that today. Ooh, and my first costata romanescu. That's actually almost too big. And look at all the dirt from, this is from the torrential rain we've had with thunderstorms in the last few days. But, oh, that's nice. Alright, so we're getting some squash. This is good. Let me cut those. Ha! Squash bug. Probably one of the ones laying all the eggs. Well, squash bug is going to get squashed. Alright, a little bit of a harvest today. That'll be for dinner tonight. And the rest of the squash are looking pretty good. It's already starting to vine. I'm going to try to redirect this away from the potatoes and down the aisle. Oh, they're looking good. All that heavy rain has certainly helped. Wow. And then the cucumbers, oh my goodness. Look at the cucumbers. Come back over here. Oh, and I see cucumber beetles. Yep. But yeah, the cucumbers are already looking pretty good, and we have our first cucumber. Yay. Won't take long now before we'll have a ton of cucumbers. Market Moor 76 is a really, really prolific variety. Works well here. Alright, let's take a look at the sweet potatoes. The 3 or 4 Mahan potatoes that are starting to grow are actually looking like they might do okay. That's Mahan. But the Beauregard sweet potatoes are loving this heat. Sweet potatoes cannot get enough heat. And here in New England, it's often tricky to get them to grow. So black plastic, as much as I hate to use plastic, black plastic is a must with sweet potatoes here. It holds the heat in the soil, It reflects, or keeps the heat on the surface, on the plants, and yeah, it really makes the difference. Look at those, they're looking so good. So hopefully lots of sweet potatoes, at least in that variety. I was talking about weeds. This row was completely clean 4 days ago. And it's all purslane. Mostly purslane, lots of purslane. Some green carpet weed. Ugh, yeah. So let's take a look at the melons. Oh yeah, look at them. They're so happy. Melons are another thing that, is difficult, can be difficult to grow in New England because they like heat. And yeah, we've had it the last few days. So those are looking great. Wow. Oh, this one's going nuts. Look at that. It's got to be like 4 feet across now. All right. The sun is at a funny angle, but so the tomatoes are looking great. They're probably 4.5, almost 5 feet tall in some spots. Looking great. Really need to get in here and tie them up. Like this here needs to get tied up. We'll get to that. And then the snow peas. Look at these. We have our first snow peas. Now this always happens. I plant snow peas. They look like they're doing nothing. And then right on time, the first heat wave comes just as they're starting to form their pods. So I need to harvest all of these today because they will be shoe leather in a couple of days in this heat. Snow peas and snap peas prefer cooler weather. So yeah, I'll get to harvesting those. And we have some of our first sugar snap pea pods. These are a little small, although they're perfectly edible at this size. But they're really starting to pop out here. So in a day or two, we'll have a big harvest of the first round of sugar snap peas. This is one of those crops where, 2 go in the bucket, 1 goes in my mouth, 2 more go in the bucket, another 1 goes in my mouth. So, a third of the harvest ends up getting eaten before it even gets in the door. Yay. Oops. Look at all these little baby snap peas. Alright, have a partial bucket of snow peas, lots of snow peas. Definitely going to have some of these for dinner tonight, and then probably going to blanch and freeze a bunch of these, vacuum seal them for later on in the year. Yum! Another thing loving the heat are the peppers. And they're looking great. Look at all the peppers. It'll take a while before they start turning red. These are red bell peppers. My favorite kind of pepper. Wow, look at the size of that one. Gorgeous. So again, the heat is really helping a lot of these crops, but not helping me, certainly. And maybe not the lettuce or spinach and peas, but the peppers, squashes, tomatoes, potatoes, even the beans. Step over and look at the beans. These are the black turtle beans. They'll probably be flowering pretty soon here. And then down here are the first jade beans, and oh look, we have the first flowers on the jade bush beans. So in another week we'll probably start having little young beans. Cool. It's looking great. Our second planting of jade beans wasn't quite as successful. You can see a bunch of blanks there. But we have more seed left, and we'll do a third sowing. Get that going maybe this week. Alright, peas picked. Now taking a look at the pollinator row, and I can see that I've got some deadheading to do. But look at the pollinator row already. There's a ton of flowers popping out. The sunflowers are forming flower heads already. Oh, so exciting. Wow, look at this sunflower. Multiple heads. So yeah, the pollinator row is looking so great already. I do really need to go up to the barn and get some more stakes. There's a few plants that have flopped over. Oh no! Oh, broken sunflower. Oh. We've had some wild weather for the last couple of afternoons. Storms moving in. But look at all these flowers. Yay. Alright, I'm gonna go grab some scissors and just take a quick pass through here and deadhead as much as I can to keep the show going. This is only the beginning, really. It's only going to get better from here. I almost missed this beautiful sunflower. The first sunflower in the pollinator row. So pretty. Pollinator row deadheaded as best I can. So now let's move on to brassica rows. Rhubarb leaves have broken down nicely. You notice the comfrey is all brown and dead. Looking pretty good. So in this row I planted some starts to replace ones that had gone by. Or died, and actually they're hanging in there despite the heat. They're looking okay. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of weeding and then a little bit of watering before the morning gets away from me here. And yeah, they do look really good. Oh, hang in there, little guys. Done with the brassicas. Just going to take a peek in here. Ugh, look at these weeds. That's purslane going to flower. Bane of my existence. Oh, and carpetweed. Also going to flower. So here are the newer plantings of carrots. I've got to get in here and weed these soon. I'll do that today because they will quickly overwhelm these little carrots. So we want to get this out of here so they're not competing with the carrots. And here is the newest planting of carrots, and already you can see little carrots and then weeds right next to them. So I've got to get in here and get this weeded so that the new carrots have a chance. Alright, so here's the lettuce that I planted the other day. It seems to be doing okay. It's typical that the outer leaves get a little singed. They always do, right after I plant them. But the core is good. So I'll turn the sprinklers on later today and get these some more water, but they seem to be doing okay. Whew. Alright, take one quick walk down here. The onions could use another weed as well. So I think I'm basically going to be weeding until the heat drives me in. Look at how fast, I mean, that was like a tiny little sprig 4 days ago, and now it's, yeah. Weed season, definitely. So down here I've got some lettuce that needs to be cut. Yeah, actually that's bolted. So these are getting ready to bolt. So I'll just go through and pick the ones that aren't bolting. Some head lettuces that definitely need to be cut. And yeah, unfortunately it looks like a lot of this is starting to bolt. That's okay. I've got more plantings. Not worried about it, but definitely need to get in here and just take these out. Like these right here are fine, but they need to be cut like today. So these here, you can see the center has popped up. So those are going to be bitter. So that'll end up either compost or chickens. One of the two. Again, it's okay. I plant lots to make sure that I have plenty. So if I lose a few, that's all right. Just have to pop over here to the perennial holding row and look at these Heliopsis. They're doing great in a place that they're just supposed to be in temporarily. And then these Shasta daisies, you will find your permanent home soon, I promise. What else is blooming in here? Some echinacea starting to bloom. And let's see. Oh, the globe thistle. Actually, I'm going to hop over the row here. Globe thistles forming their globes. Yep. And then these are the Paradiso tall mix echinaceas, which I'm going to move soon. I have the perfect place for them. I will show you in another video soon. Came to the conclusion that I need more of these in a certain spot. All sorts of different colors. Lavender. Oh, and the liatris is starting to set buds. Oh, makes me want to get that perennial row done, perennial garden done sooner. I'm working on it. And the yarrow is looking fabulous. This is moonshine yarrow. Bright, clear yellow. I love it. And then paprika yarrow. Okay, remember a month ago I said I would come back in another month and pan across the garden to show you the difference? Isn't that amazing? How much this garden has grown in just a little over a month. I'm a little late. It's the 4th of July, so... But yeah. It's looking great. I'm so excited. Okay, well, my husband has decided he wants to mow the lawn before some predicted thunderstorms come in. So I guess that's it for this video. Week 10 of This Week in the Garden. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate that you're here. And do come back again for week 11 and see what's going on in the garden. Take care. Bye.